Welcome back to my F125 Driver Career Mode. This is part number 11 today for the Belgian Grand Prix of Season 1. If you missed the previous episode uploaded last week at the British Grand Prix, I recommend go and check them out before seeing this one, because spoiler, well, there was contact with Gasly at my home Grand Prix. It wasn't big contact because that doesn't happen in this game, but nevertheless, more points on the board. Now, since the last video, we've had update to the driver ratings, so I just thought I'd just take you through there. Piastri, huge boost for him. He's now the same as Lando Norris. Also, Verstappen has lost some ratings. He's down to 93. Alonso with low focus there, 63 rated. Sainz, of course, not taking part in this career mode at this moment in time. Our teammate Alex Albon is 85 rated now, so I think he's gone up. I think it was 80. It'd grown to 84 as well, so he's gone up one. Hulkenberg at 85, Ocon is at 83, Antonelli's gone up a huge amount to 79, Tsunoda's down to 78, so that's possibly going to be a bit of work for him. So Carlos Pinto's at 77, Hadjar also at 77. I mean, he did have a poor Belgian Grand Prix. Stroll at 76, Behrman is at 75, so all of these are going to be ahead. By the way, we'd have lost that rivalry with Hadjar now because we had a ratings rivalry. I'm stuck on 70. Lawson losing a load down to 73. Paul Aaron is ahead. Jack doing there. But yes, R&D wise then, obviously we're trying to build the car, build momentum. Probably going to be a regulation change at some point. There's a few things available, but yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be weight reduction. It's not going to be ERS. No, the thing that I'm going to purchase first, the most important thing to purchase in F125 career mode, tyre wear. Absolutely. Whack that on. It's only a minor one, but I'm looking to get that also. And also going to have enough points to purchase some ERS, an ERS upgrade as well. That's going to come in from Monza as well, which will be crucial, as it's just like what happened in Belgium last weekend, and also what could be happening this weekend in Hungary. Let's wait and see about that. Yes, in terms of R&D though, Mercedes have sort of flat line. I've caught them up. Obviously, the previous patches reduced the amount the teams and the player gets, but I like to think we have made a good progress. You know, since Miami, we've steadily reduced that gap to Mercedes. You know, and now we're right behind in terms of R&D performance, which, yeah. Now, moving to sprint quality, because Belgium is for some reason a sprint, and again we can't unfortunately turn them off in career mode. So yes, first lap on mediums, because of course it is mediums. You only get 2 sets of mediums, 1 set of softs. That was enough for P11 ahead of Antonelli, so his new rating still hasn't improved his qualifying performances there. That was a 6/10 improvement on the softs though compared to the mediums. It's enough for 6th place, out qualifying Alex Albon. So the pace is there in the car, but bearing in mind I will have to put more downforce, like Max Verstappen did, like the Ferraris did, and like the McLarens didn't at start for the race. Sadly, the FIA aren't going to delay the race. Hamilton with a stinker, like in real life, down in P18. The sprint then. So yeah, there's not much difference between medium and softs. I decided to risk it and go with softs, purely because I wanted to see how harsh the tyre wear was. This will be a good indication of what tyre wear is. As you know, there was a dry icon at the end. Do we want to go soft? Do we want to go mediums? That's what this is going to be a test for 5 red lights then, and away we go for a 5-lap sprint. It's a better start than our teammate Alex Albon there. He definitely needs to improve on his starts. Rally outside of Leclerc in the Ferrari, and up to P4. That's a good start for me. Up to P4, we're going 2 positions. There's a reaper on board with Leclerc. He's made contact with Stroll, and then contact with me. Again, simulation damage doesn't really seem to do anything on F125. I mean, they still got... He would have no front wing if this was F124, but alas, that's not to be there. As watching Verstappen and Russell, I tried to have a look at Russell there, but the front end said no, and then Leclerc attacked me. But again, he's in a Ferrari. Yeah, it's a replay of this. He did go a little bit off circuit there. onto the gravel. Fortunately for him, not able to get that, but I'm not able to quite catch really anymore. Not really fighting Leclerc. I'm just going to let him go really. I've got no fight against that, as that is Verstappen, and he's may have had a reduction in rating, but he now has the lead of the sprint from Oscar Piastri. I come back at Leclerc on the lap number 4, around the outside. And see tyre wear is going to start to take effect as we're into phase 2 on the rears, and that is Lando Norris getting past, I believe, Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin car. Stroll, who seems to be doing a little bit better than in real life here. But I've run out of battery. Oh goodness, I've got 34% tyre wear. There's Leclerc, he's got DRS, and I've got no rear tyres to turn in with, and I've gone deep, and that's Norris gone past as well. To be honest, I mean, look at that, 2 seconds up the road already. We again, that's just tyre wear on F25. The player is at a disadvantage, in my opinion. I will be able to offer Alonso, not Stroll, excuse me, and also my teammate Alex Albon, and keep P6, which is some points for the first time in a sprint race. We've only had one, that was at Miami. Don't need to mention that one. It wasn't too bad a sprint. The softs are definitely not the tyre to be going on in the late when it changes to dries later in the game in the in the race, as Hadjar finishing P10 there. That's his best result of the season now. He's with his new rating. But we're going to move forwards to the main event, qualifying of course for the main race, and I have upped the the front wing and the rear wing, and also the right height as well. It was a little bit low. I think it was on minimum on the rear. I can't quite remember. I think it was on minimum on the rear, the right height. So I have upped that as well for the rain, as well as I'm getting a lovely tow on this first lap. 220 miles an hour, even with more downforce and higher ride height there. Still getting a lovely tow from Max Verstappen. My second lap, sadly, the Haas decides to move over. Piastri's done a 4:44.5 to take provisional pole position. You'll notice his first sector then is probably going to be a little bit down because I've got no slipstream. So although I've got plenty of ERS to play with, and it's not as bad as Silverstone. Remember, at Silverstone it was raining like there was no tomorrow. Here in Belgium it's not too bad. Now about a tenth down, which, from 5 miles an hour less in terms of top speed there at the end of the straight, but through this corner, this is where I'm going to start gaining, because of course I'm not being that close to Verstappen through these corners. I've got lovely clean air, just like what Piastri was in IRL. Of course, he was able to make that time up in the middle sector, having the higher downforce. Now that's not necessarily here, but clean air here on this lap is definitely going to be a crucial key. It's down to P12 now. Mercedes, yeah. If I do get to that team, there's a lot of work to be done, because that car does not look great. And I know they've had a meeting in real life too to discuss what's going on with their car with Russell and Antonelli. So, I think they need to have an in-game meeting as well. Hamilton's not had a great time of it either. He's down in P11, but obviously we'll have to wait and see if he's got any of that wet magic, because it will only be light rain, not their monsoon heavy rain at the FIA Thought that we had at the Grand Prix last weekend. Not great through the bus stop there, losing a bit of time from Blanchimont, but look at the time gained on exit of the bus stop, 2/10 there. So a little bit of a yo-yo, not the best for me personally speaking, but it is P8, so I will definitely take that as another position in the top 10. My teammate Alex Albon is up in P3. So, yeah, he's definitely loving lights, and McLarens are far in front. So, well, we'll see what we can do then. What will be 8th place on the grid? It is time for the race today's Belgian Grand Prix.
It's the Belgian Grand Prix, the site of the maiden victory of the Jordan team in 1998. The venue that Michael Schumacher made his debut in Formula One. There is so much history here amongst the beautiful nature. Spa in the rain. It's about the only thing that could make it more challenging and dramatic in this part of the world, We have plenty of heavy braking zones. We have fast corners. We have undulation. It's going to be a challenge at Les Combes, the bus stop chicane, but pretty much everywhere you look out on track. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, just edging out Alex Albon, who will start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Stroll, Phoenix, Tsunoda, Alonso and George Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Isaac Hadjar and Antonelli, Doohan, Leclerc, Liam Lawson and Ollie Behrman, Hulkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto completes the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me is Anthony Davidson. Well, it's an excellent sprint yesterday, but we're back to the usual format now. How do they continue what they started?
Absolutely. You know, they're at one with their car. You could see that in the sprint. That's why they were successful there. And you've got to carry that through into this race today. And in a way, we've had a snapshot as well of what this driver's capable of.
All right, this is Mark. Can you hear me okay? We're further back than we hoped, I know, but we can still get a good result from here.
Cannot be serious!
Mark talking out of his bottom there as Lando has got a penalty. I'm now up in P7, so this is good. What's not good is the tyre wear. I am not looking forward to trying to hang this out on the zero stop strategy. That is the plan, but we'll see. Hopefully it becomes dry sooner rather than later, please. 5 red lights, the Belgian Grand Prix, and away we go. And it's an okay start in the rain as I'm trying to keep Tsunoda out behind, see if we can gain a position from either Stroll or Gasly down the middle of both of them. That is not where I wanted to be. Goodness grief. As well, Stroll's going to keep fighting this down the hill and I'm going to have to let him go as well. As Albon, he started P2, he's defended Max Verstappen, and he will be P2 because, of course, Norris has that penalty. Having a look at Stroll at the corner that has no name. Not really able to get the traction, well, not able to get the traction down the exit on the entry there, not able to do this. But again, into turn 1, having a look around the outside of Lance Stroll, and now I'm going to try and use some of the battery to good effect. Stroll has the exit here. Now I'm going to use more of the battery side by side through up Rouge, up Radion. Thank you very much. Up to P6. Side by side through Eau Rouge. When it's raining, ladies and gentlemen, to make this overtake. There was a little bit of wheel banging, I think, or tyre banging at the rear. Here's a replay on board with Stroll. Look at that, just getting the slipstream round the outside. Then obviously Stroll turning like it was too late, trying to put me off. And then Tsunoda is going to get past Stroll as well. He's going to have a look, try and have a look on the outside of myself though. And he's going to go too deep, and Stroll's going to come back at Tsunoda in the Red Bull. So yes, Tsunoda's dropped off there. Stroll, excuse me, there's a yellow flag. Alex, no, he was up in P2. He was keeping Verstappen behind, but he's had a Spinala. For goodness, what is it with Albon's AI at this circuit? Every time I think we come here, and Albon's in a good position, he has some sort of Spinala event. So yes, he's down at the back now. Well, towards the backish anyway, as Hamilton is making a move, first on Tsunoda and then down the inside of Stroll. So Hamilton is on the move, like he was in real life. A bit of twitchy on the rear end there, but as we go through Blanchimont, Hamilton is all over the back. He's gone down the inside. I'm not going to have any of this whatsoever. I'm just going to hang around the outside. No way I'm allowing him to make a move into that corner. As well, there's a replay. I'm just trying to hang around the outside here. A little bit off circuit, but I'm able to keep the position. Didn't want to make contact with Lewis there. As well, Lewis's threat is gone because that's an engine failure. In typical Ferrari fashion, just as Hamilton starts to get going, engine failure, cruelly denies. That did deploy a virtual safety car, which came in at the end of lap 5, or rather in the middle of lap 5, excuse me. You can see there Piastris are hugely at the front as well. Now we're watching Lando Norris. He's the next one to get past Tsunoda. Of course, these are still behind Stroll, but so he'll be one to watch as he gets past Stroll.
The ERS is offline. We're currently looking into the problem.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wave the white flag, because Stroll's going to blast past with battery, and then Norris is going to go past as well. But fortunately for me, it's not going to get any worse than that as well. But what on earth was that? That is a new one where DRS just turns it. Yeah, and we've seen when it just gets stuck in a mode, but this was when it just turned itself off, and that was just not possible there. Jumped to lap 10, not able to really catch Stroll on Norris there, so I'm coming into the pits, and you can see here rear tyre wear. It's at 51% on the rear left. Yes, that is painful. If we were with 5 laps remaining, if I was to carry on, we would have been in punch territory at least. So this is a bit of a gamble. It is onto the medium tyres as well. I didn't, based on the sprint level of wear, this should be able to comfortably get into the end. But I'm hoping, well, that's George Russell, who has had his Spinala out of the points, so that could be helpful for Albon there, as he's having to wait patiently for everyone to go past, including me as well. So this backfired, I'm not going to lie. For some reason, the AI seem so very quick on the inters on a dry track, which is just insane. This is a lovely replay of an overtake on Gabriel Bortoletto to really not get the wooden spoon. Again, I have got that advantage in grip, but just not got enough pace in the car, and I'm going to send it down the inside of Nico Hulkenberg. Can we get Liam Lawson out the final corner? No, I've gone a bit wide. I'm out of ERS, so very disappointing finish. I was hoping that the AI would burn up their inters and they would have high inters tyre wear, but obviously they don't have tyre temperatures on the game. So that is, again, I'm going to continue talking about tyre wear on this game, but that is poor from EA. The fact that I'm struggling, I'm going to be burning out my inters where the AI can just carry on. Very poor from the in-game EA. Point out that Alex Albon did come in through to finish P9 in the end, which it's not 2 points. I mean, that's not great. Antonelli's got a point as well, even though Russell DNF. So we all claim a point back on Mercedes, but it's not really much. In terms of our Drivers' Championship standings, we're just sort of seeing no man's. We've got to watch out for Ocon here. Fair play to Ocon and Gasly, 3rd and 4th today. Good result for them. In terms of our Trying to challenge Mercedes for 4th, 2 points behind, closing that gap to 2 points behind, but we need a good result at the next race at Monza. Hopefully that ERS upgrade comes through. We could do a little bit more ERS as well. Now, in terms of our rivalries, we've lost Tsunoda. That was a championship points rivalry. We lost the ratings rivalries because of the game. I mean, yes, that's not really my fault, but there's nothing I can do about that. And fair play to Hadjar. I want to see him up here fighting where he has been. Big amount of stuff though, ladies and gentlemen. Despite being useless, I've actually gained a lot. I don't know how I've gained experience, because that does not make sense of how to gain stuff. Also, in terms of racecraft, I've lost rivalry, so I shouldn't not be gaining this amount of stats. So that is definitely bugged again, another bug in terms of F125. And look at that, we should have actually lost a whole load of focus there. In terms of recognition, we're still 50-50 with Albon, which I'm sure he's probably not definitely happy with. But we do get more R&D points for that ERS fault, which is good. So 280 points. It does mean that we've got some things to come through in terms of that. But yes, that it's a very disappointing. The sprint results are still bugged too, as well, although there was a patch on Monday, I believe, so I don't know if it was in there or not being fixed. But yes, the next episode at Monza will be out next Friday, hopefully, or next Saturday as well. Then it'll be running out this season with Mexico, sprint at Brazil, Vegas and Abu Dhabi. So yes, that will be season 1. And to be honest, there has been a few highs, but it's mostly been about finishing P8. Albon, to be fair, is now starting to score regular points, so the focus of the remainder of this season really is to beat Mercedes to P4, try and ensure that I keep in front of Ocon and keep I think that's P8 in the Drivers' Championship. Give me a good chance of getting a good seat for season 2. But that's where I'm going to leave it today's video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and new to the channel. See plenty more F125 driver remote videos as and when they come out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy your day, and goodbye.